Colorado Sports Hall of Fame. Beautiful facility, and we will take you for a tour, and you'll learn more about this great museum in downtown Denver. The great Jack Dempsey, a Colorado native, here at the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame, and I'm Blake Olson. Hello again. Over the next 30 minutes, we're going to celebrate this great facility and the Hall of Fame, Colorado Sports Hall of Fame, with the president and CEO of the Colorado Sports Hall, Tom Lawrence, and the great Irv Brown, a Hall of Fame member, and from, I guess we can say, ESPN Radio 1600 now as well, right?
If you want to.
Absolutely. Tom, good to see you. I mean, it just keeps on getting better and better in here.
It does. We've, it's been around since 1964, but the museum has just been around since 2001 when the stadium opened, and we've doubled the size. We're getting over 25,000 people a year through here to see the museum and get tours of Invesco Field, and it's just great. It's an honor to be a part of this, and I look at it as we're an organization that's handling a public trust.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely. And Irv, you're a member, of course, and part of the selection committee. This is important to you, isn't it, personally?
Yeah, it really is, because it was really it was nothing in the early going. These guys have made this terrific. We must get, 200-300 nominations a year, and everybody's qualified. That's what people don't understand. I haven't read one that wasn't qualified. We've got a lot of very capable people here. It's right time, right place. I'm really pleased with what they've done, how this has come along, all the people who come through it, and all the people who are interested in this state.
Well, speaking of individuals, every great venture and every great project has to have those special people who make it work and take the vision and make it reality. And right now, we're going to show you how the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame got started. 1960 was a very important year in Colorado sports history. The Denver Broncos became a member of the American Football League, and the idea of the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame was conceived. In 1964, University of Colorado great Byron White was now an attorney with his own law firm. Fittingly, that's where incorporation for the hall formally took place. Who better to get the ball rolling than Whizzer White, a future member of the hall. The first class was inducted a year later with members of both print and electronic media from around the state establishing procedures and criterion for induction into the Sports Hall of Fame. After nearly 35 years honoring Colorado sports legends, the idea of a permanent location was gaining ground in 1998 when the Metropolitan Football Stadium District approached the Hall of Fame about the idea of an actual bricks and mortar museum inside what is now Invesco Field at Mile High. The hall built the necessary community relationships and utilized graduate students from the University of Denver, the University of Colorado Boulder, and CU Denver to develop what we see now in the museum. The Colorado Sports Hall of Fame Museum opened August of 2001, thanks to generous financial support, both in terms of capital and in-kind contributions. The hall strives to preserve the legendary stories that make sports an important part of our social fabric. The Colorado Sports Hall of Fame is located at Gate 1 on the west side of Invesco Field at Mile High. From the world-famous to little-known athletes in sports ranging from football to fencing, these individuals have demonstrated sportsmanship, leadership, courage, sacrifice, endurance, and power. The museum will take you through a journey of Colorado sports history. And some of the notable names in the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame, of course, Byron, Whizzer White, John Elway, Jack Dempsey, the boxer, Peggy Fleming, figure skater, David Thompson. Everyone's notable, though, here in the hall. I mean, you go through, you look at these names, you look at someone, and you say, oh, you know what, I forgot about him. But you cannot have a Sports Hall of Fame without the great John Elway in the hall, and you have plenty of information and great memorabilia from John Elway.
we do. We have a biography panel on him. We have a signed jersey and a football, and you can't. John Elway is sports in Colorado. Period. Mm-hmm. He's the face of the Denver Broncos. He's the face of sports, and he's probably the most recognizable figure in the Sports Hall of Fame.
Well, and what he has done too, just on the business side, I remember his dad never made any money at all. You know, John has just done a fantastic job, but he's been great for this city. He really has, whether it be the car dealership or with the restaurants, and he was just a great quarterback. He's a good baseball player too.
Now, what a lot of people don't understand, though, I think he adopted Colorado, and he feels like a Coloradan. Now, that's what I like about it, him being here in the Hall of Fame. He's not a guy that played and left. Oh,
absolutely. And you see that with some of the athletes, but when John came here and with his long career at the Broncos, yeah. He's a Coloradoan now. And I have to say, from the standpoint from the Hall of Fame's viewpoint, whenever we've needed John for something, he's always stepped up. You know, yeah. He hasn't disappeared, and he hasn't dodged. He's always been there to help.
I want to talk a little about Whizzer White. A lot of people, obviously younger people, don't appreciate who Byron White is. But I mean, he excelled at every area of life. In every area.
Hated the nickname Wizard.
Did he?
You better not call him that when you're talking to him. Would have him on the show a couple times. You know, he's so intelligent. He put me to shame and Joe to shame. But he was amazing. A little old, what is it, Wellington or Weldona, one of those. And what he did, he was just so good. There wasn't anything he could do. And I don't think he ever lifted a weight in his life. He was a farm boy who understood how to work hard. Just a great athlete, great football player.
Oh, and it shows. One of the things we try to do with the Sports Hall of Fame is not only honor the great athletes, but also help youth sports and take these great stories. Even and Irv and everybody who's in the Hall of Fame, the life lessons that sports participation teaches you to take you in other aspects of life. Yeah. Whizzer White is a perfect example of that. To go on and a law career and then to become Supreme Court Justice, I mean, you can't get any better than that.
Absolutely. Amazing. And what I love about it, they describe him as a great runner, passer, and catcher. He did it all for the University of Colorado in football in Boulder. We have much more to come from the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame. We are celebrating nearly 5 decades and taking a look at it here at Invesco Field at Mile High. Stay tuned. Just inside Gate 1 at Invesco Field at Mile High is the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame, and we are celebrating that today in this special. Hello again. I'm Blake Olson along with Tom Lawrence and Irv Brown here in the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame. And if you need a great place to take the family for some entertainment and a little education, bring them down here to Invesco Field at Mile High. We're going to give you a tour of the museum right now.
Hi, I'm Tom Lawrence, the President and CEO of the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame, and welcome to our museum at Invesco Field at Mile High. The Colorado Sports Hall of Fame was started in 1964 by Byron Whizzer White and Roger Doherty. When you enter the museum, one of the first things you see are the plaques for each induction class since 1965. Currently, there's 210 inductees in the Sports Hall of Fame. As you tour the museum, one of the things you want to focus on are the 25 biography panels we have of past inductees. And one of our finest and greatest athletes of all time was inducted in 1974, who's considered the greatest female athlete of all time, was Babe Dietrichson-Zaharias. The mission of the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame is not only to honor the great athletes in this state, but also to support youth sports organizations financially and through exhibits in our museum, like the Special Olympics, the National Sports Center for the Disabled, the Gold Crown Foundation, Sportswomen of Colorado, and the Colorado Golf Association. One of the great fun exhibit rooms that we have at the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame Museum is the Kids Zone, where we have equipment, we have uniforms of all of the sports teams in town, professional, college. So all the kids who come in, they can try on the uniforms, take pictures, touch, feel. One of the things we found, we get about 25,000 visitors a year to the Sports Museum, about 5,000 of which are students and underprivileged children. In one of the things we found out is that a lot of these kids not only have never been to a sports stadium, but they've never been to a sporting goods store to be able to touch a lacrosse stick or lacrosse helmet, or to try on hockey skates, or to try on a Shannon Sharp jersey and shoulder pads. But there's been a very, very popular exhibit for us, and the kids love it, as do the parents who take a lot of pictures. One of the great programs that the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame oversees, besides our annual induction banquet, our annual golf tournament at the Broadmoor, and the high school football championships here at Invesco Field, is we conduct and organize the tours of Invesco Field for the Denver Broncos. It's about an hour-and-a-half tour. It takes you into the press room, the locker rooms, up into the luxury suites, and it ends up down on the field. It starts here in the museum, this desk right by the 2010 inductees. So a lot of great stuff to come see here at the museum. Take your time, bring your kids. We look forward to seeing you in the future.
Tom, nice job. And here's a look at the exhibits. September through May, open Thursday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. June through August, open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 until 3 in the afternoon. The museum is open for special hours during the Broncos home games. But you know what I love as a kid, when you get to hold on to the equipment, feel the equipment, and you know, when you grew up like I did in the 70s, and you watched Floyd Little, and you look at his shoulder pads, how small they were. They're here in the hall. I mean, things like that, they're priceless.
Oh, it's great. It's, you know, not only seeing some of the items from the Hall of Famers, but one of the exhibits we have in here that I'd mentioned earlier was the Kids Zone.
Right.
And we have the 25,000 people a year who come through.
Yeah.
About 5,000 are students, and many of which are underprivileged. And for them to get a chance to go into the Kids Zone and try on uniforms and feel the equipment, it's great, because very seldom do they even get a chance to come to a facility like this or a stadium.
Yeah, I remember you talk about greats. Lionel Taylor, when I saw his shoulder pads. I mean, they look like
little bitty ones.
Yeah, they look like little league shoulder pads. This guy was getting beat up all over the place, but it really makes you appreciate what these athletes went through.
Well, he caught about 100 passes that one year. They're all 2-yard outs, but he caught 100.
He got them.
Just think how far we've come, because you look out there and here's Trapuka drawing up plays in the infield dirt. The general manager, Dean Griffin, is fighting for a football in the stands because it's a one-ball league, you know. And now look at the Broncos, you know. We're a big league town.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, one of the great photos here in the museum is Bears Stadium without the decks on it before it became Mile High, of course. It's just, I mean, it's just great to see that parking lot full. And that was Bears Stadium. That was Mile High Stadium. Let me talk about the golf tournament, why this is so important, and the events that happen, that take place, obviously, the banquet, the golf tournament, and Championship Saturday. But the golf tournament is huge, isn't it?
It's this year, September 12th and 13th at the Broadmoor. It's the 6th annual golf tournament we've had. And all of our events and programs, be it the induction banquet in April, the golf tournament in September, and Championship Saturday in December, as well as the tours, they fund us. We do not receive funding from the state or federal. Very little funding from foundations. We survive off of our events. Mm-hmm. And the golf tournament especially supports and honors the Gold Crown Foundation and the Colorado Golf Association, the Colorado Women's Golf Association, and the Colorado Junior Golf Association. It also includes the Evans Eisenhower Scholars. Right. So it's a great weekend. We go down, everybody spends Sunday night at the Broadmoor, and we play the Broadmoor East Golf Course on Monday morning, and it's terrific. I think it's the best tournament in the state.
Not a bad track. What about Championship Saturday? I think that's huge for the state. I love the fact that at least we can see the 4A and 5A here at Invesco Field for the football championship. It's
really a good deal, and I was delighted. ISPN stepped up and the kids deserve. What is amazing to me is you're talking about the golf tournament, you're talking about the banquet. It's a down economy. We had so many people at the banquet because we had a good group to induct and everything. But in a down economy, you expect it was going to be tough. It wasn't tough at all. Sure. It was really well done.
Yeah, we had 900 people at the banquet, and the golf tournament was about sold out. And then Championship Saturday, we draw about 15,000 people a year, you know, for the high school kids. it's great. So.
Well, this is a special place, and we're celebrating it right now here on Altitude. When we come back, we're going to show you the 2010 inductees and talk about them, including Joe Sakic. Great Joe Sakic. Stay tuned. Downtown Denver, Invesco Field at Mile High, home of the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame. And there's a look at the 2010 inductees here into the hall. And hello again, everyone. I'm Blake Olson along with Irv Brown and Tom Lawrence, and we are celebrating basically 45 years of history here in the Hall of Fame, 5 decades. And here's a look at that 2010 class. Joe Sakic, Mike Shanahan, 2 world championships back-to-back. Larry Zimmer, the great voice of the University of Colorado Buffaloes. Bob Blasey, he's an outstanding football coach at the University of Northern Colorado. Mark Johnson, excellent baseball coach at Cherry Creek. And Dean Lahr, and this guy has a story to tell. But Joe Sakic, excited about being an inductee.
It means a lot. Obviously, we got here 15 years ago, and it's been a great 15 years. We created a lot of memories here in this state and in this city, and to be inducted with all these great athletes and sports personalities, it's truly an honor. Especially right now, my family and I, this is home, and makes me real proud to be here.
It's truly an honor for me, to come into the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame. As you know, so many years that I've been emceeing this banquet or inducting other people, to be on the other side of it is sort of unbelievable. So I'm thrilled and I'm very humble.
All right, Larry Zimmer, congratulations to him, and Joe Sakic, of course. You look at Joe Sakic, and he's another guy that's kind of adopted the state, and a true pro all around, on and off the ice.
Oh, absolutely. He had a funny story at the banquet. He asked to talk to me, and I went over, which was an honor to begin with, and he just told me how honored he was and how surprised he was to even be inducted in the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame, which just put me back. And he says, I haven't lived here that long. And he said, I haven't done much. I go, oh my God, Joe, what you've done for the sports community here,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It shows how humble he is.
Yeah.
They don't make him any better now. We had an interesting contest. If John Elway is the president, he's the best ever. Who's the vice president? A lot of people think it's Joe Sakic. Wow. He handles himself well. Not only could he play, he's a good person, and that's the kind of a guy you want in a hall. You really do.
I got to know Coach Shanahan in the late 90s. I saw every snap of practice for about 5 years, and I appreciate him more than I could ever explain. And I'm so glad he's a member of the Hall. I mean, once again, a no-brainer. But I don't think people understand how much passion, really, truly, he has for the game from the time he goes to bed, the time he wakes up to the time he goes to bed.
Oh, I think it's 24/7 with Coach Shanahan. I personally can't say I've ever met anybody more intense.
Yeah, absolutely.
And focused on what they do.
And he cares about the state as well. I mean, he has a passion for the state, and I think he appreciates the Hall as much as anyone.
He did a great job for this city. He really, and the state. And a lot of people don't realize just how good he was to Colorado School of Mines. He was terrific. I tell you, I can't think of too many banquets where he wasn't there. That's the kind of guy you like. Hope people don't forget Shanahan, because it ended, you're going to make more enemies than friends the longer you stick around. That's just the way it is when you coach. He did a terrific job for the state.
One of the inductees, of course, and you're a voice that we all grew up with, and we think about sports and Colorado sports when we hear Irv's voice. But Larry Zimmer, I mean, this guy, some of the big games, the huge games in Colorado history, I mean, they're implanted in your memory.
Oh, Larry's voice, it's one of those, it comes up, you know exactly who it is. And interesting thing, for me, I've known Larry, and then even going back to Bob Martin when they did the Bronco games, but very avid opera and classical music fan.
Right.
Absolutely, and they got me into it.
Yeah.
He and Bridget, his wife.
Well, and you think back about things that you heard Larry Zimmer say, and I remember driving up, we were doing a golf tournament, And I was listening to Larry Zimmer, and he came on and he said, Len Bias is dead. You know, and you know, it's something that just cold shock and everything.
Yeah.
Third pick overall in the draft, and Larry has really been great for this state. He's done a great job for CU, but he also teaches up there,
Right.
and him and his wife have a scholarship for the university.
Yeah.
Good people.
Absolutely. All right, and I'm with some good people, two great people right here, Tom Lawrence and Irv Brown, and we're celebrating the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame. When we return, we're going to ask these guys who their favorite Hall of Fame member is. Irv, you can't name yourself now. All right, there's TD. Stay tuned. Well, the Hall benefits so many great organizations. Tom, tell us about that real quickly.
Well, besides honoring the great Hall of Famers, our board decided several years ago to honor youth sports. And so organizations like Special Olympics, the National Sports Center for the Disabled, the Colorado Golf Association, Sportswomen of Colorado, Gold Crown, on and on. It's actually one of the most fun things that we do.
All right, welcome back to Colorado Sports Hall of Fame inside Invesco Field at Mile High here with Tom Lawrence and Irv Brown. Irv, your favorite Hall of Famer, Colorado Sports Hall of Famer, who and why?
You can pick them all. I'll take Jack Dempsey from Manassas, Colorado. He'd walk into a bar and say, I can lick any man in here. They say at one time he was more popular than Babe Ruth in New York. I thought that was a great class with him and Whizzer White and Dutch Clark. I'll take Jack Dempsey.
That's tough to top, absolutely. Tom?
Mine is one I didn't even know about before. Was Glenn Morris from Simla, who played at Colorado A&M and was a great decathlete, won the gold medal in the 36 Olympics, the Berlin Olympics, the Hitler Olympics, and won the Sullivan Award that year, and then became the first Tarzan in the Tarzan movies.
Right,
You know,
amazing.
it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people think Barry Helton was the greatest athlete from Simla. But he was topped, maybe number two. I think it's Dave Logan because I grew up with Dave Logan, seeing him play 3 sports at the University of Colorado, opportunity to play professional sports in the NBA, the NFL, did in the NFL for 8 years, and Major League Baseball. It's incredible. Well, this has been a great time for us. Tom, thank you very much. Irv, thank you. Good luck to the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame. And come on down to downtown Denver in the stadium here and enjoy the exhibits, the museum. We had a ball. You will too. We'll talk to you next time.